A junta, also known as a military junta, is a form of government where a group of military officials, often high-ranking officers, takes control of the state and assumes authority over the executive and legislative branches. Typically, juntas emerge after a coup d'état or some other forceful overthrow of the existing civilian government. The term junta is derived from the Spanish word for committee or council. Juntas often justify their seizure of power by claiming to restore order, stability, and national unity in times of political turmoil, economic instability, or social unrest. They present themselves as a temporary measure to address perceived shortcomings of the previous civilian government and promise to return the country to democratic governance once stability is achieved. The characteristics and goals of juntas can vary significantly depending on the country, its history, and the specific circumstances surrounding their rise to power. Some juntas maintain strict military rule, suppressing political dissent and curtailing civil liberties. Others may seek to establish a more benevolent form of military-guided governance, emphasizing development and economic growth while maintaining authoritarian control. Throughout history, juntas have emerged in various parts of the world. Latin American countries, in particular, have experienced several juntas during periods of political instability in the 20th century. Notable examples include the juntas in Argentina, Chile, Brazil, and Peru. In Africa, juntas have also played a role in several countries, with military takeovers occurring in countries like Nigeria, Egypt, and Burkina Faso. The international community often views juntas with concern due to their authoritarian nature and potential for human rights abuses. Many democratic countries condemn military coups and call for a swift return to civilian rule and respect for democratic processes. As a result, juntas may face diplomatic isolation, economic sanctions, and international pressure until they restore democratic institutions. Despite this, some juntas have managed to retain power for extended periods, effectively suppressing opposition and controlling the media to maintain their rule. In contrast, others have faced widespread protests and resistance, leading to their eventual downfall and the restoration of civilian rule. In recent years, there has been a trend of democratic transitions replacing military juntas in several countries. This signals a growing global desire for civilian-led governments and democratic governance. However, the potential for juntas to resurge during times of political uncertainty remains a concern in various parts of the world. In conclusion, a junta is a form of government where a group of military officials seizes power and assumes control of a country's executive and legislative branches. These military juntas justify their actions as necessary to restore stability and order. They often rule with varying degrees of authoritarian control and may face international pressure to return to civilian rule. While many juntas have existed throughout history, the trend towards democratic transitions indicates a global preference for civilian-led governments and democratic governance.